Hi, my name is Troy Anderson. I'm the owner of Anderson Training Systems, a fitness coaching business located in Tempe, Arizona. What I'm going to share with you today is part 3 of the Kettlebell Meltdown training series. And what we're looking at in this series is we're using the ladder format for one of our strength movements, for a single primary strength movement, along with what we call our big iron burn sequence, which the big iron is utilizing the ladder protocol. The burn sequence is using power circuits of several different ancillary and supportive exercises that follow in direct succession afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this and show you what we're talking about. Our big irons portion, or the ladder protocol that we're going to use, is going to be to do a drill that we call the Turkish get-up. This is arguably one of the most comprehensive total body movements one could possibly do, especially with the kettlebell. We've looked at a little bit of this before in some other portions, but here's a general rule. General rule is arm stays vertical over shoulder, wrist over shoulder, nice and solid packed in. So we're trying to drop that shoulder in and have real good posture here. Eyes always on the kettlebell, no matter what. You're going to move the body under the kettlebell, so you're going to gain great body awareness while you're doing this. Same side leg as the kettlebell is up. We're going to drive this foot in the floor because it's going to help us get off the ground. Our opposite side arm, or my left hand and arm, are going to help me get off the ground because it's obviously a very disadvantaged position. And so here we go. Here, I've gotten up, bell is close. I'm going to slide my left leg and foot underneath my right leg that's still up. I'm going to get to a good position, solid here, pivot under this, and stand up. I'm going to come on back down, 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 and down. The real trick here is to not get ahead of yourself, especially if you're just learning how to do this. You may even want to start without a bell, but to not let the sequencing or not run the steps of the drill run into each other. There's about 8 steps to this. I'm going to try to break it down a little more specific for you. Starting on the floor, right side leg up, kettlebell up, locking the shoulder down, using my off side or left arm and hand to help get up. So here we go. I'm going to get a little roll. I'm going to push the left arm in to help me get off the ground. Off the ground, push on up. Still got my right leg underneath me. I'm going to slide my left leg back under that right leg and get up to kind of leaned over. From there, getting solid. Don't stand up till you're solid. Get in the bottom of lunge position. Standing up and back down and back down and back down. The process is simply just reversed for the down portion. Let me do one or two repetitions real time for you. As again, this is a very taxing movement. You can see this is a relatively light bell. You don't do a whole lot of repetitions, especially using our ladder format. Won't ever work past 5 repetitions using the ladder format in one set. We've got about 35 pounds in my hand. Most very strong men, you may see them do a few repetitions or 1 or 2 repetitions with anything much heavier than like a 70-pound kettlebell, but that's pretty significant. Kettlebell is more about integrated body, or the get-up's more about integrated body movement than necessarily total absolute strength. So here we go again. I'm going to go ahead and give you real time without too much talking. There, and back down. Okay, we're going to take a look at the next movement, which is a push press. And this is actually a very good drill for helping people learn how to overhead press, especially with the way kettlebells are set up. The weights are kind of a little bit off. There's some big jumps that might be a little bit too much for some people to make within the weight training realm. I'm going to go ahead and use a 54-pound kettlebell here. It's not a terribly heavy weight for me. The push press is just learning how to use our hips and legs to give ourselves a little boost with the kettlebell to get it moving, so we can lock it out on the way up, and then we're going to bring it down under nice and solid control. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Here, got it in the good rack position. I'm going to go ahead and just bend hips and knees a little bit, and I'm going to give myself a little boost up. So this little boost, finish the press, and then nice and controlled back in and down. So the press with the kettlebell is kind of this arcing motion. It starts here solid, and we're going to come up and out, and then back down and in. All we're doing with the push press is we're just going to give a little hip and leg boost, finish the press with our upper body structure, and then come back down and control. Let me show you a couple more of these. Into the rack position, nice and solid. All right. And that's simply your push press. There's not a whole lot to it. It's not much more different than the press. Like I said, it's a very good drill. You can, if you're looking to gain a little explosive power and sequencing with your movement, or if you're just trying to move up to a little bit heavier kettlebell and want to kind of make that transition movement, a push press is a good way to get you transitioned up, get the upper body used to being able to handle that kind of the size of a bell, and then transition into your pressing movement.